Okay guys, so you've already watched the first video and you learned about complementary and supplementary angles. So just to help you remember the difference between the two, so complementary is obviously first in the alphabet with a C, and so that's an angle that measures 90 degrees, or two angles, not one angle, two angles that measure 90 degrees. And you can remember that because you can make, out of the C, you can make a 9, and then it has O. So 90 is complementary. And then in terms of supplementary, obviously it's second, it's the larger one. You can turn this S into an 8. You can turn the U into a 0. So it's 180 degrees. So that's just a way to help you remember the difference between the two. So a couple of things that you guys need to know to work with angle relationships. You've already learned about complementary, supplementary, and vertical angles. So straight lines are going to equal 180 degrees. So if you think about one line, and then if you draw a line perpendicular to it, those are 90-degree angles. Well, two 90-degree angles equal 180. So if there's angles on a straight line, they will have a sum of 180. So also triangles add up to equal 180 degrees as well. So all three angles in a triangle will equal 180 degrees together. So let's take a look at this first example. So it says write an equation to solve for x. So we want to solve for what x equals. We're not looking for what this angle equals, we are looking for x. So JMN, so JN is a straight line. So what do these two angles need to equal? 180 degrees, right? So the sum of angles on a straight line is 180. So we have 3x plus 54 equals 180. So we're going to go ahead and solve our equation like we have been. We draw a line down the equal sign. We need to get rid of whatever is not with x. So minus 54, Gonna have to borrow 8, 7, 10 minus 4 is 6, 7 minus 5 is 2, so 126. So 3x equals 126. Now I need to get my x by itself. So I'm gonna divide by 3 and do my math over here to the side. 3 times 4 is 12, 0 and 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 0, so x equals 42. So in this situation it says write an equation to solve for x. So x equals 42. So if they wanted to know what our angle was, what 3x is equal to, well, we figured that out up here, right? So 3x, so this angle equals 126 degrees, right? Because 126 plus 54 equals 180. All right, so let's move on to the next one. The next one here, we have a triangle, and it says, what is the measure of angle CAB and ABC? So this angle right here, these two angles right here, it says are both x, and they are congruent. And we know that because of these lines here. It means that these two sides are congruent, which means the triangle is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so since it's an isosceles triangle, these two angles are congruent. So we know that the sum of the angles in a triangle equal to 180 degrees. So I have this angle, angle A is x, angle B is x, and then plus 70 equals 180 degrees. Well, if there's two variables and they're the same here, we can go ahead and add them. So 2x, x plus x is 2x, plus 70 equals 180. Again, you guys are experts at solving equations, so we're going to do that. Draw our line down our equal sign. This is adding 70, so we're going to do the opposite to get rid of it, minus 70. So now I have 2x equals 180 minus 70 is 110. Now I need x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2. So, oops. 110 divided by 2 is 55, right? 2 times 5 is 10. 10 is 55. So x equals 55. So each of these angles is 55 degrees. All right. Moving on to the next problem on our notes today. So what is the angle of PQR? So PQR. So notice they want to know this angle right here. And again, this is a triangle. So it means that the sum of the three angles is equal to 180 degrees. So I have 3x. There's also an angle that's 25 degrees, an angle that's 20 degrees, and they all add up to equal 180 degrees. So now let me combine these two because they're like terms. So we have 3x plus 25 plus 20 is 45 equals 180. I'm going to go ahead and solve my equation, draw my line. Going to get rid of 45, so I'm going to subtract since it's adding. Oopsies. Minus 45. I have to borrow here. 7, 10, 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. So 135. 3x equals 135. Well, we're on a roll, so let's keep going. 135 divided by 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 15. 3 times 5 is 15. 0. So x equals 45. So what is our answer here? Let's go back and look. It's asking for the measure of PQR, right? So it wants this measure. Does it want x? No, because this angle is 3x, right? So my answer is going to be up here. So 3x equals 135 degrees. So angle PQR is equal to 135 degrees. Okay, so last but not least, here we have a triangle, X, Y, Z, and it shows here that this is a 90-degree angle, right? That's what that means. So it's a triangle. We know that the sum of the angles of a triangle are 180. So we have this angle down here equals 3x plus 11. And then we have this angle here is 90 degrees. And then we have 25 degrees. So those all add up to 180. All right, so now I can combine like terms. So I have 90 plus 11 plus 25, right? So 90 plus 11 plus 25. So we have 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 126. So 3x plus 126 equals 180. All right, here we go again, solving equations. I need to get rid of positive 126 by subtracting 126. And I have to borrow 8, becomes 7. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 2 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0, so 54. So 3x equals 54. Again, I need to get x by itself. So 54 divided by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 24, 3 times 8 is 24, 0. So x equals 18. Now, is that our answer? Is 18 our answer? It says to solve for this angle, not for x, right? So we're looking for this angle right here. So it says 3x plus 11. So I have x is 18. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into my equation. So 3, right? 3x plus 11. Sorry. So 3x plus 11. So 3 times x, 3 times 18 plus 11. So 18 times 3, 3 times 8 is 24, 3, 4, 5. So 54 plus 11 equals 65. So angle YXZ is equal to 65 degrees. All right, now it's time to work on your independent practice.